Good morning, everybody. Whew. It is Monday. And I just about had a heart attack because Mermaid said in here today's May 1st. Where's the year going? You know, soon I'm going to be talking about putting up my Christmas tree. Good morning, Izzy. Hello, Nicey. Jules made it in. Kamari made it in. Hello, True Crime with Shannon. Speaking of True Crime with Shannon, she had a birthday this month. And it is May 1st. And I just realized the month of April just got away from me. We did not have our members' birthday jam yet. I think we will do that Thursday or, well, it won't be Friday morning because Friday's the wedding. Probably Thursday. I screwed up in March too because we had the March birthdays in April. I'm going to get it together. Just Me said it is May Day. It is. Hello, Country Girls Life. Good morning, fellow Okie, just like our guest backstage. Well, guys, I'm fired up. And you know what that means. I am super pissed about this story. I am. Did anybody happen to catch the video I put up yesterday about Shayla Grant? She had what appeared to be a car accident April 6th. Well, through further investigation, the authorities realized that her injuries could not have been from this car accident because it was only going 12 miles an hour. A 99-and-a-half-year-old woman with cancer all over her body could have survived this wreck, okay? It was so minimal. Okay, so through further investigation, they put together that this dude, this is from my thumbnail yesterday, Matt Reckart. He is in jail for first-degree murder. He's probably going to get the death penalty, to be quite honest. That he murdered Shayla. Well, he's being dealt with. May he rot in hell. I wish him nothing but great health because I want him to live to get the death penalty. All right, but what we have in this situation is yet someone else involved, and that would be his wife, Tiffany. Tiffany has a long history of manipulating, using, excuse me, telling people that Matt's abusive, Matt beats her, all kinds of domestic violence. Not saying Matt's a good dude. Not saying Matt's a good dude by any means. Everybody that she gets caught up with, I'm going to say it that way, she always tells them that she's leaving him, close to leaving him, but has to do it the right way. And you know, the right way for Tiffany is always cold hard cash. Okay. Bob is inside my head. Bob said, what young mother would want to drag her kids to the grocery store and leaves her phone behind? Her phone behind unlocked. This phone was used to lure Shayla over. Tiffany and Shayla were in a relationship. Tiffany has strung several people along over the last couple of years. Also, at the time of night that she went to the grocery store, it would be time for the kids to be going to bed. School was the next day. Now, I have a lot of faith in the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. They're not going to leave any stone unturned, for sure. But in the meantime, we're going to put together our own investigation. You know how we do around here. So before I bring up our very, very special guest who you are just going to fall in love with, Mermaid said, how coincidental. Isn't it, though? Isn't it? Not to jump too far ahead, but I believe that the messages that were sent from Tiffany's phone to Shayla were sent by Tiffany. You see, Shayla's no dummy. She would know the difference in who was texting her. Good morning, Christina. All right, let me get to the comments because you guys had a lot to say yesterday and I loved it. Jinbug says, sounds like a setup to me. The wife is definitely involved. Can't wait to hear more tomorrow and from her mom. I can't imagine. This is heartbreaking. Aaron Hicks says, Shayla's mother breaks my heart. I want to give her a big hug. But the wife taking the kids shopping? And this just happened to be when this murder occurred. Really? Aaron said, no, that's sketch. Extra AF says, I have questions. Did he do this while the wife was gone with the kids? Yes. Where is the wife now? Well, she was still staying in the house, but I have recently found out that she's staying with relatives around the Tulsa area. Was she unharmed? Yep, Tiffany's fit as a fiddle. Is she involved? I'm gonna guess yes. Did she tell law enforcement what happened, and is she cooperating with them? The jury is still out on that, but we're going to discuss that more in depth with Shayla's mother. Not Tiffany's mother, Shayla's mother. Aaron with an E said they both should get the death penalty. Wow. Wow. Jinbug said no such thing as coincidences. I know. Without further ado, we're going to bring up our friend Shanna. You're just absolutely going to adore her. She's not going to stop until all the answers are out. And everyone responsible is held accountable. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
Everybody, let's give a warm welcome. What'd you think of those comments?
I couldn't agree more with a lot of them. We're all on the same page.
We're all on the same page, for sure. I'm going to go through a little bit of this article, and wherever you want to jump in, just go for it. Don't mind me.
Okay.
A 33-year-old Oklahoma man is accused of beating a woman to death after learning that she was having an affair with his wife, then staging a car crash to make it look like the victim died in an accident. Okay. Now, Extra AF in her comment, and I didn't read the whole thing like an idiot, she said, wouldn't he have had words for Tiffany, not just Shayla? Wouldn't he have confronted Tiffany? Or is it like all the other people? Does he believe that she's being stalked and harassed?
That Tiffany was being stalked and harassed?
Yeah, because, some of the other people that she has been involved with over time.
Oh, that's right. She claimed that they were stalking and harassing her, right?
Yeah, that she's just innocent.
Correct. Well, we've spoke with Shayla numerous times about this woman, and, she's always pursued Shay. When Shayla would see her, Tiffany would come to Shayla's house. I don't think Shayla went over there hardly at all, but I'm sorry.
No, honey, you are fine. No. Angie Baby said they ganged up on her.
Yeah, they did.
Are you okay, hon?
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, I'm not okay, but I don't have a choice.
We're here for you. I'm telling you, you have quite the war chest here with this community because we go hard. Don't even worry about it. We are here for you. So this happened on April 6th, but the criminal information was filed on April 19th in Leflore County. It says that Matthew inflicted certain mortal wounds to Shayla. Now, Shayla had a dash cam and they entered her SD card into evidence.
Correct.
You and I were talking yesterday, and you said that she got the dash cam a couple of years ago after another incident she was in, and she never didn't have it on.
Correct. Yeah, she got in a road rage incident a few years back and had one of her coworkers, a security guard at the casino, help her install this dash cam up to where, it really can't be seen. But it was in a nice hidden spot.
And that idiot, he didn't know. He didn't know.
He didn't have a clue. He screwed up. He was real sloppy.
It says when a trooper with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol reportedly reviewed the electronic data from Grant's car, they discovered that she was only traveling at 12 miles an hour at the time of the presumably fatal crash. The data also reportedly showed that no pressure was applied to either the gas or the brake in the 5 seconds prior to her vehicle crashing. The damage to Grant's vehicle appeared minimal and did not appear consistent with the fatal injury sustained by Grant, the affidavit reports. A medical examiner on the scene reportedly found a dashboard camera. A review of the footage showed a disturbing revelation, police say. The dashboard camera footage reportedly showed Grant pull up to the home of Matthew and Tiffany and park. A man believed to be Matthew then walks around the front of Shayla's car and apparently gets inside. Now, where the murder weapons are and everything like that, we don't know. We have no idea. Just me said, so he just put it in gear. Basically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the question remains, because like I said, they're dealing with Matthew. Matthew's probably going to get the death penalty because this is malice and aforethought. Basically, it has all the components of a death penalty case. The problem is he didn't pick himself up, so I'm just going to assume Tiffany did. I don't believe that he sent the messages because Shayla would know the difference between his wording and Tiffany's.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you guys are this is going to ring a bell with you guys. Isn't it odd in these cases when an update is made to Facebook right before the incident? At 6:56 p.m., Shayla changed her Facebook profile picture. I was just talking to Shanna a little bit before the show, and I said, I think Tiffany did that. It's not something Matthew would do. Oh, good morning, Ryan Christie. I have not even had a cup of coffee, but I'm wide awake with that comment. Ryan Christie said, this wife, Tiffany, needs to go down too. Bitch.
Absolutely.
This is horrific. All right, so Tiffany, I don't know if she still works there. She probably does. Was working. I'll just say that she's still working there now at this dispensary, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that because this is how she met Shayla. This happens. This seems to be her hunting grounds.
Apparently. So Shayla, when Shay started working there about a year and a half ago or so, she really enjoyed her job, and then drama started coming into it. And she had started seeing this Tiffany girl. She started talking about her. They'd become real good friends. And then it got to the point to where Shayla was convinced that Tiffany was her soulmate. And she fell in love with her daughters. This behavior was allowed to happen at work. Tiffany was allowed to see Shayla, even though that stuff wasn't supposed to be happening, them knowing Tiffany's in a relationship and whatnot, and still letting the stuff happen in their workplace.
Tiffany is married with children.
Correct.
But she tells, like I said, this is her hunting ground.
Yeah.
She picks up on employees, customers, and everybody gets the same story.
Right.
She domestic violence, she's scared of him. She's been trying to leave but doesn't know how and wants to do it the right way. But the right way always has to do with money.
Right. And we told Shayla, no, that's not what she's doing. I don't know how many times we warned her that she was playing her.
And the sad fact of the matter is, you were more worried about Shayla getting a broken heart, and look what happened.
Yeah, well, I was afraid that because when a few months ago Shayla had told us that Matt had took Tiffany's phone and pretended to be her. And then all of a sudden he started making threats to Shayla. And that's when we told Shayla, now you don't even need to be speaking with her. And Shayla said, I'm not, Mom. I'm waiting. I'm going to wait on her. And she just kept coming back to Shayla. According, when we went and picked Shayla's things up from her house, we went through some of her journals and stuff, which we turned over to evidence. Some of the stuff, that Shayla had written about Tiffany, I'm going after her. She's every bit at fault for this. She manipulated my daughter. I'm going after her.
Yes, she did. And she's not done.
No, she's not.
She's not done. She's already complaining to people about how she has no money.
Yeah.
People don't like her anymore. She's going to lose her house. She's already on to the next victim. She's a groomer. If she was a man, she'd already be in jail.
Yeah, she showed up to the dispensary the day after Matthew got arrested and walked in and told those girls, my husband just got arrested for murder and now I'm going to lose my house. She tried to buy weed there and they told her, no, you're to leave.
Always about her.
Always about her, giving no regard to the fact that her husband just murdered my daughter. No regard for life whatsoever.
Did she ever reach out to your family, to you?
Oh, God, no, but she messaged Roger, Shayla's best friend. After all of this happened, Roger sent us a screenshot of what Tiffany said to him, which kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I read into the message too much. I sent you a screenshot of that message yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, so where she said to him, let me find it. I don't know what I expected.
A human being with some empathy?
Where she said, I'm sorry I texted. I was just finally able to find your number. I don't know what I expected. I'm so sorry for your loss. That's what Tiffany said to Roger.
Like she's put out.
Right.
This, you see.
The I don't know what I expected part is what's got me, though.
Mm-hmm.
Why did she say that?
Yeah.
I don't know what I expected. What did you expect? What didn't you expect to happen? Is that what she's talking about? She didn't expect that to happen? She didn't know what to expect when Shayla got there? What was she talking about in that text?
Yeah, exactly. What was she thinking?
Yeah. What did she mean by, I don't know what I expected?
Gamer Lover says she is no victim. Christina just gifted a bunch of Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Turn your gifts on so you can get it.
Oh, wow.
And be a member. No, she's not a victim. Victims don't act like this.
Well,
Now, I have heard from just word on the streets, that there was some issues besides Tiffany fishing off the company dock. Paychecks were bouncing.
correct.
You think maybe there's some extortion going on?
Embezzlement of some sort. Who
Embez-
knows?
Embezzlement, money laundering.
Yeah.
I hope the Oklahoma Corporation Commission gets a hold of that.
Well, Shayla had told us back when, that these guys are a couple of drunks. And they used to call her it. They referred to her as it. And that upset her so much.
Oh, God. The hell is wrong with people? Hell is wrong with people?
And she's human too.
Oh, absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. It says, back to this article, it says, in an interview with the police, Tiffany reported that she'd informed her husband on March 31st that she wanted to get a divorce. Matthew, on April 5th, reportedly took his wife's cell phone and found text messages between her and Shayla, refusing to return the phone until April 7th, one day after Shayla was killed. Is that what Shayla was? Well, Shayla wouldn't have known that. Shayla told you this had happened before.
Yes.
But conveniently, Tiffany tells them it happened right before Shayla was murdered.
I don't believe that.
I
So
don't
see, here's the thing. Put the times together. Come on. March 31st. Shayla was murdered on April 6th.
Mhm.
That's 6 days. 6 days she stayed with him after she was supposed to have left on March 31st.
Easter.
She went in with him on Easter weekend after he killed my daughter, after she helped him kill my daughter. And they went and celebrated Easter with their family in Claremore.
So they go have Easter bunny time.
Yes.
They have the ham, the mashed potatoes, the whole 9 yards, knowing what went down on their property April 6th.
Yep.
Mermaid said, wow, but she's the DV victim, right? Yeah, that's what
Yeah. Oh,
saying.
yeah, sure.
If anything, she probably whips up on Matthew.
She's
probably
the mastermind behind it all.
Yep. I have a feeling she's the one that keeps him spun up because there are other people that have gotten involved with Tiffany that have said Matthew has confronted them saying, leave my wife alone. You've been stalking my wife. And they're like, no, dude, I'm not. But she makes sure to delete certain messages so it looks like she's being harassed. She's a scammer.
Yeah. Exactly. And see, what's cool about this is Shayla keeps her messages. So let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what these messages she sent to Shayla. But, Shayla, these messages, it had went on, like I said, Shayla's journals, she journaled every day. Tiffany was talking to her up until that day. Shayla wrote in her journal that day, I finally got her on April 6th.
Oh, God.
Now, you can't tell me that this son of a bitch, pardon my French, you can't tell me that he pretended to be Tiffany for 6 days and Shayla didn't read into that. You can't tell me that. There's no way. No way. There's absolutely no way.
He would have slipped somehow. She would have known she wasn't talking to Tiffany. This was set up.
Yes.
Christina, this is exactly what my husband said. My husband said the same thing. Can this be tried as a hate crime also?
I don't know why it couldn't be.
Because not to be so blunt, but Matthew didn't kill anybody else.
Right. He killed the gay girl.
Yeah. He didn't seem to have a problem when he thought that it was a man going
Right.
after his wife. But a woman's a different story.
Yep.
Because this really troubles me. It says, I'm going to read it again. In an interview with police, Tiffany reportedly said that she'd informed her husband on March 31st that she wanted to get a divorce. Matthew, on April 5th, reportedly took his wife's cell phone and found text messages between her and Shayla, refusing to return the phone until April 7th, one day after Grant was killed. Okay, but then they went and they celebrated Easter together a few days later.
Yeah.
You don't tell the old boy you want a divorce on March 31st and then play Easter Bunny with the family in Claremore.
Exactly. And you can't tell me that, if she didn't have her phone the night that she went and got the groceries or whatnot, she supposedly took his phone. Okay, if that be the case, she had his phone. Why didn't she call Shay and tell her? She had been in a relationship off and on with Shayla long enough to know her phone number, to memorize her phone number. People memorizes people's phone numbers if they really want to contact them.
She knew she could message her on Facebook.
She knew she could use his phone to contact her in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
She knew what he was doing.
She could have at least warned her and said, I don't have my phone. Matthew has it. Don't reply to any of these messages.
Exactly.
I'll let you know when I have a phone. This is 2023. There are a million lines of communication.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's email. I mean, there's a million ways to get a hold of people.
She could have gotten in touch with her.
She could have drove over to her and said, hey, he thinks I'm at work, but I'm here to tell you he has my phone. I told him March 31st I wanted a divorce. We got to lay low for a while because he's crazy or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But no.
No.
He finds out that there's a car wreck that kills Shayla right by their property and then goes off to celebrate Easter with him.
Yep. Yeah. With their daughters.
Mm-hmm. Big T said she is a drama pot stirrer. Yes, she is. And a lot like Letitia Stout, she's always the victim, always the victim, always the victim. Someone's always picking on her. Now look what happened. Because Matt, by all accounts, is a pretty basic bastard.
Yeah.
He's a real simpleton. So even though what he was being told made no sense at all, because let's face it, if we want someone to leave us alone, we know how to tell them to get fucked, right?
Right.
We all know how to say, leave me alone. We know how to block people. We know how to do those things. But she has to be the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be the victim. So let's take a poll in here. Who do you think sent those messages to Shayla? Do you think it was Basic Matt? Or do you think it was Trifle and Tiffany? Who sent those messages? I think it was her.
It was every bit her. He's not smart enough to pretend to be her and get away with it. Shayla was too smart for that. There's no way she would have fell. She would have fallen for that.
You know who you're talking to. I mean, I've only been talking to you, about 24 hours. I would know if I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that doesn't sound anything like her. What the hell's going on?
Right. Shayla, Shay's told us before. I don't know how many times he pretended to be her, and Shayla's like, no way, Jose. I know this ain't her. she's not stupid.
Mhm. Mermaid said, "We know as women who is texting. I know there's a big difference between the way my husband texts people and the way I text him."
Absolutely. Same here.
Jen Bug said she knew how to manipulate her and play on her feelings. She
Oh,
did.
yeah. She did. Every bit.
Good Grandma said it seems like Tiffany gets people to do her dirty work. That is it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That is it in a nutshell. I'm going to play this news clip real quick, and then we're going to continue this conversation. Because for those that are just coming in, this will help you get caught up.
A Pensacola man is accused of staging a murder to look like a tragic, deadly car accident. Now, Matthew Ricard is charged with killing 26-year-old Shayla Grant. G News Oklahoma's Shay Smith spoke with Grant's mother today.
Today, I spoke with Shayla's mother, Shauna McClure, who tells me her daughter was kind, loved music and skateboarding, and now she wants justice served to the person responsible for taking her daughter's life.
Her energy was so strong. Her positive energy was just so strong. You knew her presence around, you couldn't be down around her.
Shauna McClure says she was at work on April 7th when she got a call saying her daughter had been killed in a wreck.
As soon as it happened, I knew it wasn't an accident. We knew when her dash cam was pulled and when her phone was found that something was wrong.
But the medical examiner's office determined Grant died from multiple blunt force traumas to her head, not injuries consistent with a crash.
I wouldn't wish this pain on anybody. Nobody deserves this. I never thought I'd be this mom. I never thought this would happen to one of my own.
Last Wednesday, the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation arrested Matthew Reckert for first-degree murder in Grant's death. Court records say Grant was having a relationship with Reckert's wife.
She had received threats from Matt before to stay away from her. And, we've all told her, you need to stay away.
Court records also say the OSBI reviewed dash cam video from Grant's vehicle the night of the crash. The records show Grant pulled into Reckert and his wife's driveway, and a man who they believe to be Reckert walked in front of Grant's car before it was then driven to another location. The report shows once the vehicle stopped at that other location, the camera started shaking. Then the man carried multiple objects to a shed and walked back to the car before the car rolled west toward Highway 112, eventually rolling into a pipe railing.
Shayla didn't deserve that. He hurt her out of his own selfish and insecure ways.
Grant's mom says Reckert's arrest only brings a small amount of closure and she wants to see justice served. But through it all, McClure says she will always remember her daughter.
Everyone that knew her will never forget her presence.
God, she was incredible. Her hugs were the best.
Now Reckert is scheduled to head back to court in.
So he goes back to court in June. Are you okay, Mama?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Christina has a question. She says, why would Tiffany want Shayla dead? The husband was jealous, but was Tiffany just not wanting to lose Shayla? Is that the thought? I don't know. I don't know if it's that she got caught and so she had to make up a story. And so she was saying, no, this chick won't leave me alone. I used to work with her. And he says, okay, I'm going to take care of this. And maybe didn't even plan for this to happen. I don't know. I really don't know. Yes, Shayla is very beautiful. If you look at Matt, and I'm not picking on anybody. I mean, does this strike you as a criminal mastermind here on the screen? I think there might be some fetal alcohol syndrome going on with him. He's not a smart dude. Okay, there's a little something wrong with Matt. He did not come up with all of this. Anybody that knows Matt will tell you he would not have come up with this car wreck. Sonia said he looks like a weasel. Yeah,
A little bitch.
there you go.
A little coward. It's
Then
what
you
he-
have Tiffany, who, by the way, has scrubbed all social media.
Mm.
She's gone.
Oh, is she? Huh. Got off Facebook, did she, with her new account?
Well, and that's another thing. Why did she start a new account after the murder and start adding people as a friend?
She started a new account the day of or day after, and then started adding all of the dispensary people, all of her old work people. She started requesting them.
That's not suspicious at all, is it?
No.
You just have somebody who was very involved in your life die. You
Yep.
know it's not a car wreck, and you know at any point the OSBI is going to do this. Step outside, I want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's going to happen any minute, and what do? You make a new Facebook account.
Yeah. And try to come up with a new story. Mm.
You got checks bouncing at the dispensary.
Shayla had three checks, 3 or 4 checks, 3 or 4 different checks bounced from that place. You know, she was struggling, and we told her she needed to get out of there. That place, that year and a half, it's just, ugh.
Betty, has that happened? Have they knocked on her door? Well, they did, but it was to arrest Matt.
Exactly.
It's still under investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to go back in this real quick, and I'm not picking on where anyone lives or anything like that. But when she's messaging all these people saying she's going to lose her house, it looks like a clapboard shack.
Yeah, I seen that. The yellow. that
Ryan
yellow-
wants to know if Tiffany owned the dispensary. I think it's a couple of drunk guys.
No, the names of them is Derek Nets, I think is his name.
Lala
did-
said, what connects Shayla to this couple? Well, she had become really close with Tiffany
While working at the dispensary, yes.
while working at the dispensary, which is Tiffany's MO.
Right.
That is her MO. She dips it in the company ink.
Derek and Daryl Nets is their names.
Okay, so going forward, you probably can't tell us what the investigators are telling you or
They're not
what-
telling me nothing. I haven't heard from anybody.
Okay. Ava said, it's hard to wait, Mama, but investigations take time. We want her put away, and we want her put away the right way. Yeah, they can arrest all day, and then the next day the people go home. We want a conviction.
Yeah. Two
Um,
of them.
mhm.
2 of them.
And I'm not worried about Matt because they have the dash cam.
Right. He's done with.
Mhm.
But this girl, she's going to make us work for it, but that's okay, cuz that's fine. I've got all the time in the world right now.
Because, you quit your job to work on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And really, for all intents and purposes, if it wasn't for you, Shayla's dad, your husband, the troopers, I don't have a lot of faith in a lot of these small police.
Oh my God.
in
It
Oklahoma.
was almost ruled an accident.
I was telling you yesterday, on the show, we're going to do another show here in a couple weeks with Alana Raffield's parents. She was murdered and they ruled it a suicide.
God.
And that's the reason we have this bill now in Oklahoma that certain crimes, which when there's death involved, definitely meets the criteria, they have to get the OSBI involved.
Right.
You got kids just graduating from high school going to the police academy, which is basically like freaking Boy Scout camp.
Mhm.
And then next thing you know, they got a badge and they think they're a detective. They don't
Mhm.
know, they can't find their ass with 2 hands and a flashlight, but they're gonna detect a crime?
Yeah, you're 100% correct on that.
So when I first heard about this, I said, "Oh God, please tell me the OSBI is involved." Thank goodness they are, but like you said, they were gonna rule it an accident.
Yeah, they was. Friday that afternoon, the EME called me on April 7th after we had gotten home, and he told me that Shayla had died. Her cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, and it by an accident, due to an accident. I said, no, we need to do an autopsy. And he goes, well, there's no reason. And I was like, no, there is, and then that was during this whole time, yesterday when I told you on the phone that, it took us a matter of 10 minutes maybe to figure out, that this wasn't an accident, just the first few minutes of knowing this. But God, I forgot my train of thought.
You're good. We got you. Well, let's talk about that. If you can't, no judgment here. When you got the call saying that she'd had a car wreck, when did you say to yourself, to your husband, this was not an accident? She didn't have a car wreck.
So when the guy told me on the phone at work that she had died from an accident, I immediately said, no, she didn't, because Shayla was always smart with her driving. She never made stupid choices in her car. She was always so smart, she always wore her seatbelt. She was so careful. And I don't know how long I threw a fit at work. I don't know how long it took me. I guess I broke down while I was at work, of course, but as soon as Robert, my husband, got me home, he had immediately called the Pensacola Police Department and spoke with Sergeant Luna. And he said that Shayla's phone wasn't on her. Asked if she had one, and immediately, yeah. And when we found out where the alleged accident had happened, it was not an accident. I knew immediately it wasn't an accident. We all knew it was no accident. It happened right there by Tiffany's house.
It happened right by their house.
Right by their house. Like right around the corner. And this, we was told that the building, the shed where Shayla's car was, that had been their property at one time, that they had actually lived in that White House where that, on the news clip, that White House there, that was supposed to belong to them at one time as well. So it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
We put it together within the first 10 minutes of us knowing.
Ava said, "You're an amazing mom for standing up for her, because not all moms would." No, they wouldn't. And they wouldn't even question a car accident. Angie baby, this is a thought. By the way, guys, we have a Facebook group for Shayla as this unfolds. So I put the link to the Facebook group in there. Angie baby said, unless she did it and he's covering for her.
See, someone else said that too, but I think, here's what I think happened. I feel Matt caught them messaging or whatever. You know, Tiffany, if she was going to leave him on March 31st, I don't buy that. I don't believe that. I think she was going to stay. And if she was going to leave, she was still going about it the wrong way. I feel she told him, you know, that she was leaving or whatever, or maybe she told him, no, I'm going to stay with you. But however it happened, I feel like he told her, I'm just going to scare her. Just have her come over here. I'm going to scare her. I'm going to make her stay away. She ain't going to bother us no more.
Mhm.
You know, that's kind of how I feel. And I could be totally wrong. But I just feel like she lured her over there and she didn't want to be a part of it. So she took the kids and went to Walmart. Call me when you're done. Call me when she's gone. Let me know when she's gone so I can come back home. Let me stop by and pick you up after you just murdered her.
Because somebody had to pick him up.
Exactly. There was 2 sets of tracks in that night. That day. That sergeant told Robert on the phone that there was 2 sets of tracks. And one had left in a hurry.
Lala said she could have had something on them.
See that? Yeah. I think this is going to uncover a lot more than just Shayla's death, you know? I think this is going to bring a whole lot of something to light. And I feel what we're about to find out is not going to be good, you know, for everything that's going on behind these scenes.
Mm-hmm.
There's some type of ring that they've got going on, and my daughter got killed. My daughter lost her life over this.
Big T says, where is the data from his car?
Good question.
Christina wants to know if you've ever met Tiffany.
I just seen that. So, as a matter of fact, I did. We went Christmas shopping with Shayla this last Christmas. We took her over to Fort Smith where we rode with her. Anyway, after we had went Christmas shopping, Shay wanted to stop by the dispensary and introduce me, you know, to her friends, to her coworkers and such. So we went in there, and Tiffany walks her little happy ass right up on in there. I didn't want to meet her. As a matter of fact, I didn't even take time to meet her. That's how much attention I paid to her that night.
Mm-hmm.
Shayla was standing right there with me, and she goes, oh, there's Tiffany, when Tiffany walked in while we was there. And I turned around and looked, and I went, she just smelled funny to me. I told Shayla I didn't want her around her. I just don't like her. I didn't like her.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something about her that it's not right. I didn't say hello to her. I looked at her, and she kind of didn't want to make small talk with me either. She just walked over to the counter.
Well, because she knows that you're going to tell Shayla how the cow ate the cabbage. You don't trust this woman for some reason.
Exactly.
And when we know, we know.
Exactly. Yes.
Jody said Shayla probably felt bad for the kids.
Shayla felt so bad for these kids. When we went and picked her things up at her house, these kids had pictures that they had created with Shayla hanging up on Shayla's fridge. These kids had pictures, Drew, of Shayla with them as a family. Shayla loved those kids. She thought the world of those kids, and she was excited. You know, she thought because she's gay, she can't have her own kids, right? So she said that, you know, she was already getting her some. She was already getting into this already made family that she had just fell in love with. You know, Tiffany was in a miserable marriage and supposed to be leaving her husband when she got her finances right. Shayla was just falling more and more in love with this family.
How old are
Tiffany kept bringing him over. That Shayla would take him shopping.
the kids?
Oh, they're young. I'm wanting to say they're about my grandkids' age, and they're 6, 4, and 15 months. So I'm going to say that they can't be much older than that. Maybe 8, 9.
I am
The
really
oldest one is like 8.
I mean, it's not public information and I don't want it to be, but I would be very surprised if the Department of Human Services has not tried to make contact with Tiffany to find out what's going on around there.
I
I
don't
have a
understand why they
feeling that-
haven't.
I have a feeling that's the reason she's up in Tulsa now and not hanging around the house she's so worried about losing.
Right. Yeah. As she should be.
You know, and I hate to tell her, but Oklahoma has kind of adopted this policy of they don't do kinship placements anymore because they want the cycle broken. So they're not going to hand the kids over to her parents because, well, her parents screwed her up.
Yeah.
Matt was arrested. Was he arrested April 18th or 19th?
He was arrested the day after Shayla's service, which was the 19th.
Angie Baby said Tiffany is the ringleader. Hubby probably being played too.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that. And Tiffany, our good pal Tiffany, not to be confused with the other Tiffany, which we got to get a name for her because you guys know that I don't like to destroy good names with these criminals.
Right.
Like in the Harmony Montgomery case, Adam is Teardrop. We know Brian in the Idaho case, that's Bushy. So we got to have names for Matthew and Tiffany. You guys help me out. But our Tiffany says, all I need to see is all 3 phone dumps. That's that, period. It'll solve all this real quick.
Absolutely.
In car.
Yeah, in her car, her vehicle. I seen somebody ask the question, did Tiffany go to the funeral? No, but she did ask Roger where Shayla was buried at. What cemetery? She's not buried. I have her in a box in my living room.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't believe Tiffany had the nerve to ask what cemetery.
Yeah, I can't get over that either. How old was Shayla?
Shayla was 26. She just turned 26 on the 18th of March. Dispense a whore. That's kind of a good one. I don't think we can use that, can we?
Sure.
Dispense a whore for Tiffany.
And if you guys didn't notice, you guys know that I mispronounce stuff all the time. It's Shauna, not Shanna. I mean, I guess because I have a name like Brooks, you can't mispronounce my name. Trifling Tiffany and manipulated Matthew. I got you.
Trifling Tiffany and manipulated Matthew. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Matthew
Chucky
should
in
have
his blood.
stand up is what he should have done.
Yeah.
You know, you have a wife who doesn't want to be with you, and she's using the dispensary as her hunting grounds
Mm-hmm.
and getting you involved in stuff that And he's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. More than likely, he's going to take a visit to Electric Avenue in McAlester, Oklahoma.
I want to flip that switch. I'd love to flip the switch on that one.
Well, we do lethal injection here now. We're basically death penalty. We're killing one a month now. And I did have a couple of people ask me before the show, when all of this goes down, because it's got all of the components for a death penalty case. Are you going to be there for all of this?
Absolutely. I'm not missing nothing. I wasn't able to sit in at his arraignment because my family and everybody felt it wouldn't be smart for me to go, which they're probably right. But now I think I've got myself gathered enough. I'm doing this for my daughter, and I'm going to be at every trial hearing, and I'm going to be wearing my Justice for Shayla shirt, Justice for Shay. And hopefully everyone else can be there as well for her support.
How are the people in the community doing with you and doing with everything that's going on?
Well, we've got a select few people, that we're interacting with here at home. I've received tons of messages and such from the community, thoughts and prayers. That's about it. People are coming together, getting shirts made for Shayla, and we're all right. The community's okay, I guess.
Well, keep your circle tight. People are crazy.
Well, our circle is super small, and it will remain that way because we don't trust a whole lot of people given this little county we live in.
Mm-hmm.
So we keep to ourselves here, and just, we don't want people taking advantage of this,
Yep. Darius says, does Shauna get to be in the room during execution?
Oh, I better have a front row seat.
In Oklahoma, they do allow victims' families to witness the execution. They do. Now, some states they don't. I think Utah doesn't. Don't quote me, but Oklahoma definitely does. And they will have a private escort because there's going to be tons of protesters outside that, are into the whole, death penalty is bad. But yes, if they want to be there, they absolutely can be.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be there.
Ryan Christie says, what can we do as a community here to help other than sharing the info?
Gosh, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that's about it. Just keep her story out there, spread the truth, This isn't okay. What's happening? Tiffany walking free right now is not okay.
No, it's not. Because, when I came across the case and like a creeper jumped in Shauna's inbox, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to see what this lady thinks because I just came across this story on my local news in Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
And as I started going through it and I started reading these comments about Matt and just how basic he is, I'm like, how could this guy come up with this whole car accident thing? Then I start getting to the stories about Tiffany. And I'm like, I'm going to reach out to this mama and see what's going on. And she was all ears. No, Matt does not have a prior record.
Mm-mm. I think she helped him clean it up. I think she helped clean up the mess. He was seen on the dash cam, but I think she was behind the dash cam.
I'm wondering if she knew about the dash cam because they only see him.
I don't know. You would think if she knew about the dash cam, she would have told him about it. Or did she want him to get caught?
That's what I'm wondering. That's exactly what I'm wondering.
Did she
Because
want him to
her
hurt
and
Shayla?
her and Shayla
and-
they were thick as thieves.
Right.
Shayla would have told her about this dash cam.
Yeah, I would think Shayla would have told her about it, but I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say.
Melanie says, prayers, Shauna, stay strong and don't stop trying for justice. Check out conviction of Cherie Miller, 1999 Michigan case. Michigan or Minnesota? Cherie Miller.
Cherie Miller, who's this?
She said it's another case. Is that Minnesota or Michigan, Melanie? I'm going to write this down. I love case comparison.
Yeah.
Because we'll be telling the DA about that. Look up the case of Cherie Miller, 1999, in Michigan or Minnesota. Okay. Jessica says, Shayla would have never let that monster in her car. I think she originally met up with Tiffany, and I think Tiffany drove her to their house. Wow.
That's interesting.
While her car's sitting at Walmart.
While her car's sitting at Walmart.
Because they saw it at Walmart on the video.
Yeah, her car was seen at Walmart on the video, so we know that much. We know she did go there to Walmart, but
And it's so convenient that she makes sure that her and the kids are seen on camera at Walmart.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's covering it up. She's making it too easy.
There's cameras in the parking lot. They see them walk in. There's cameras all over the store.
Mm-hmm.
And she just happens to show back up when the deed is done.
Yep.
No.
He let her know that the deed was done. Come get me.
Pick me up.
Yeah, come pick me up.
Or he probably said, I messed up. I killed her and I need help.
Instead of just calling 911, she made herself an accessory. Because right now, as it sits, just by the writing on the wall, she's definitely an accessory.
Right.
Ava said someone needs to talk to the kids. I think the kids can tell them a lot.
The kids, yes, I agree. Someone does need to talk with the kids.
And I think there's a reason she hightailed it out of LaFleur County and came up to Tulsa County. No family's wanting to see her ass right now.
No,
Nobody's wanting to visit with Tiffany right now.
no.
She goes on booing and hooing about how she's going to lose her house, but she leaves that clapboard shack and comes up to Tulsa County.
Right.
She's hiding out. She is hiding.
She's scared right now.
She is. I'm going to put the link in here again for the Facebook group that we have for Shayla. If you're on Facebook, I know a lot of people don't like Facebook. It is just kind of a necessary evil anymore that we have to deal with. But we do have a group for Shayla, and we're going to put our heads together, continue talking about this, invite your friends, whatever you want to do. And we're going to keep discussing this, and anything that goes on, we'll do a live and talk about it. But Shauna, I want to say thank you so much for you coming up today.
Thank you. And you're welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
And all our listeners.
And all the listeners for listening.
I tell you what, you don't even realize the war chest you tapped into, because these ladies, we go hard. And gentlemen.
I love it. I love it because I need this help. I can't do it all by myself.
No, you're not by yourself. And anytime you want to use this platform, you let me know.
Absolutely.
It takes me a whole 5 seconds if you've seen my artwork to put together a thumbnail and start a show.
Yeah, I got you. I seen your work.
All right, everybody, let's tell Shauna thank you for coming up and join the Facebook group. Share this live and let's get this out here because somebody else needs to be going to jail.
Absolutely.
And we can be patient. We're good at being patient. We might beat a dead horse in the meantime, but we're going to be patient.
Yeah.
Because we want it done right. All right, guys, I'm going to shut this down, but I will be back in about 30 minutes. Are you going to come back with us, Shauna?
I can if I need to.
Absolutely. Come back in. We're just going to chat throughout the afternoon about someone who makes us all feel better about ourselves, and that is Letitia Stout.
Okay.
So let's see what lies and personalities she has for us today. I want to thank Christina for gifting memberships, Carol for gifting memberships, all of you being here, supporting Shauna, her family, and let's get the word out there and let's get complete justice.
Absolutely.
For Shayla. I love that, Ava. Shay's Army.
I love it. Shay's Army. I like that.
Let's do it. I will see you guys here in about 30 minutes. And you are the absolute best. Thank you for, like I said, piling in here. It's a case you've never heard of. It's not going to be covered on the Today Show or anything like that. But with our help, we could probably make that a different story.
Yep.
Christina said, continued prayers and let us know what you need. Let's get into the Facebook group and any ideas that Shauna has, she can make a post and we can all do it.
I appreciate it very much.
We're all here for you. All right. I'll see you guys back here in about 30 minutes. All right. So let's keep it going.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.